Hello folks, welcome to 316 Automotive, the internet show that's all about car resto and repair. Today we're talking about wheels. Now we're going to be looking at some brand new wheels that I got from the good folks at Tire Rack, and I'll show you those right now as a matter of fact. I've got the A10 wheels that we ordered, and there's some more, another one right there. So you got right there, you can see them all. All right, what we're talking about today is offsets on the wheels and the lateral and radial runout. Lateral runout can also be called axial runout. It's got to be very little, and I'll explain all of that and how we're going to determine that. We're going to be using a dial gauge. I'll show you how to do that and set that up, and we'll see how it goes. All right, come on. First thing you want to do, if you don't have a machine to mount the wheels on, there's some of the new wheels right there, is you want to take off, I'm doing the rear wheels here, make sure your hub is very clean, and I've got the brake on right now, the parking brake, but make sure your hub is very clean, and then make sure the back side of your wheels is also very clean, like that. And then what you're going to do is you're going to put the wheels on and you're going to torque them down. There's the wheel bolts right there. And you're going to torque them down to the factory spec, which is 67 foot-pounds in this case. And then we're going to go ahead and use our dial gauge, and we're going to measure the axial and radial runout. So I'll show you how that's done. So let's torque these down. I've got my torque wrench set to 67 foot-pounds. So I snug them up. Once I got them all snugged up, then I'll bring them up to the full torque. Do it in a star pattern, which is crisscross. There. Now the wheel is installed. And before I get to doing this, I'm going to show you a little bit about what I'm talking about. The radial runout is the ovality of the wheel, the roundness. So if it's egg-shaped, then there's going to be some runout. If it's perfectly circular, you're going to have near zero runout. And I'll show you how to do that. The axial or the lateral runout, either one you want to say. If you're looking straight on at the tire like this, that runout, when the wheel is rotating, is going to be going like this. And so you put your dial gauge here, and you put your dial gauge over here, and you can measure as the wheel is rotating. Right now, I want to measure the radial runout. So what I'm doing is I'm positioning the dial indicator, and I'm pressing it in a little bit so it's got spring both ways. I'll show you right here. See how I've got it positioned right inside the bead there? And now I'm going to zero it out. There's zero, as you can see. So now, do that. I always start off at the air hole that comes on every one of these tires. So now we're going to start rotating. Oops, take the brake off. We're going to start rotating. I start at the air hole, and we're going to start rotating now, and you're watching the gauge. Pretty well zero, a little bit positive and negative, plus 2 thousandths, oh, plus 3 thousandths, plus 5 thousandths, plus 6, plus 6 thousandths, going back, going a little bit, plus 6, about minus 1. Okay, plus 6, minus 1. I'm going to write that down on the wheel. Plus 6 minus 1, and that is the radial runout. Now I'm going to do the axial runout, and I'm going to have to come over here. Okay, on the bead sidewall there, where the valve stem goes in. Zero it out right there. Let me see. Can you see that? All right. All right. Here we go with another rotation. Now I'm measuring this surface right here, the inside of the bead. I wasn't measuring the roundness of the wheel like I am in this surface. I'm measuring this surface here. So we're doing axial runout. -5, -6, -7, -8, -8 to plus 6. Back to 0 pretty well. -8 to plus 6. Okay. Here is, let me maneuver this wheel around. This is wheel number 1 that I did. And wheel number 1 on the inside has plus 10 minus 1 radial and plus 3 minus 1 axial. That's in thousandths again. And the outboard side of the wheel, the shiny side, plus 2 minus 3 radial. Wow, that's good. And plus 1 minus 5 axial. So that's real good. So wheel number 1 was good. Very good. Wheel number 2 was good in 3 measurements, but the radial on the inside is borderline. Okay, the 4th wheel here turned out really good. Plus 3 minus 5 radial on the back side, plus 0 minus 11 axial on the front side, plus 4 minus 3 axial on the back side. Remember, that's the wobble. And plus 1 minus 6 radial on the front side here. Okay, so I'm going to contact tire rack. There you go. And I'm going to see what they have to say about the 1 wheel. They may say it's within specs, so we're going to leave it. Or they may say, hey, that's too far out. I don't know what their specs are. I just know what the internet says on that sort of thing. So, and I'm going to show you about offset. These wheels have an offset. Let me do this. Okay. There we go. Let's measure the offset of these wheels. I know what they are. The old wheels had an offset of 41, positive 41. These should have an offset of 38. I'll show you how to measure that in just a second. Let me set this up and then do that. Okay, here's the wheel, one of the wheels upside down. What is offset? Offset is the distance from the plane of the hub, which the hub will mount right there, to the center line of the wheel. So the center line of the wheel is about right there. That distance is called offset. It's very important if you want to get wheels that fit on under your car, different wheels other than the OEM. So let's go about and figure out how to do that. So you need measuring tape, you need a flat bar, and you need to remember stuff. So we're going to measure the width of the wheel. This wheel is, they're all going to be the same. Seven and a half. 7.5. And now I want to get that bar, and I'm going to put this over here. I'm going to get the bar, I'm going to place it across the wheel, just like that. See that all right? I'm going to measure from this edge of the bar, which is this surface of the wheel, down to where the hub meets it, and then you're going to subtract. So that is, see if I can get this better. 5 and 5/16. So 5 and 5/16 minus half of the width, which is 1.56 inches. So the center line of the wheel is 1.56 inches away from the face of where the hub. So just with our really rough farm boy measuring, that's how you get the offset of a wheel. Now this is a positive offset, which means that the face, let me get it here. Positive offset, let me get this crap out of the way, means that this face here is outboard away from the center line and outboard away from the car. So it's further out away from the car, and your center plane of the wheel is going to be right here. A zero offset is mean the center plane and this surface are going to be coincident. They're going to be the same. A negative offset means that the center plane is going to be down here, but this surface here is going to be up here, closer to the inside of the wheel. That's a negative offset, like a deep dish that you see on some cars. So that's a little quick primer on how to get the offset of the wheels. So, hi guys, Maury with 316 Automotive again. I'm going to show you what I'm doing here. As you can see, I've got another wheel. The good folks at Tire Rack sent me this other wheel because remember a little bit ago, one of the wheels that they sent me 4 wheels. 3 of them were real good and they are within spec. There they are over there. One of them was out of spec. It was out of round, actually, in this case. And so I tested it with my dial indicator there, and it tested out of round like -12 +16, something like that. So that's 28 thou. The good folks at Tire Rack told me that the spec for the axial out of round is 24 thou, and the same with the radial out of round is 24 thou. So that wheel that I had that was bad, it was bad over here on the inside. This part, the bead was out around. Everything else was within spec. So, although I mean you're buying a new wheel, you don't want it to be out of spec. So they sent me another one, and we're going to test it right now. Okay, guys, here we are on a cold and rainy spring evening, afternoon evening, and here's what the Saab looks like. And you can see those wheels. I got some 3D Saab center caps from a guy in Portugal. You can get them online for any car, and they make it look better. And also you can see I got new tires for it. The old tires were shot, and so I went upsize, and I got some BF Goodrich Advantage TAs, and I got 205/55 R16, and that has to do with the sidewall height. The original sidewall was half the height of the width. The width is 205, and the ratio is the 50, or 0.5 in this case, of the original tires. So the original tires, the sidewall height was half of the maximum width. So now I've gone 55% of the maximum width with the 205/55 R16, and that gives me a little bit taller sidewall. Actually, it gives me like about a 0.4 of an inch greater sidewall, because I really didn't like the 50s. I like the 55s better, how they look. They fill up the wheel well a lot better, and they give me a little bit more rubber on the road. And let's face it, in these Oklahoma roads, they don't take care of the roads very well here, so you need more rubber, especially when you got some new wheels, alloys especially, and you want to protect them with a little more rubber right here. So things are working good, and I've had these on for just a day now, and the wheels look good, the new tires look good. The reason I got rid of the old tires was that the inside sidewalls were flaking off terribly, and I had the instructor at my son's tech school. He said, "Don't drive on these tires anymore. Get some new tires. These things they're so old, they're crap." And they were the original tires that I got when I bought the car, so they just came with the car. Who knows how long they've been on there. So these are real good looking tires. I've driven them around. They're fun, and everything's going to work out. So that's the tire and wheel saga for the Saab 9.3. See you later.